We're back working on the Avalanche again. We're at 293,500 and change, and we've got the check engine light on. We'll plug in our code reader and find out what's going on. We've got the scan tool plugged in. Not sure how well you can see this on the cheap camera, but we've got code P0121 for a throttle position sensor. Well, we'll pull it in the shop and get to work. Well, let's have a look at what we bought. For this Chevy, part number is TPS, throttle position sensor, 4270. I'm not sure if that camera's picking it up too well or not. And yeah, our Avalanche here is an 07 with the 5.3 liter flex fuel engine in it. Yeah, right. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got the clips. 1, 2, 3, 6 clips. Got the gasket. And wrapped in bubble wrap, we have our throttle position sensor. So now just to get the other one off and reinstall this one. Start by removing the cover. Just lift up and pull forward. It's out of the way. We have to take our air intake off. There's a hose on this side. Well, let's see, we'll slide you over. Wiggle this out. There we go. And need a screw gun for those. A couple hose clamps. Another one over here. That should pull off. Being that it's a little cold, it's probably going to take a little more effort on this rubber and plastic here. Oh, there's a little Christmas tree fitting here. Need a screwdriver to get that undone. I've had the screwdrivers in the same drawer in my toolbox for 20 years and I still open the wrong one every time. Should just slide right off here, but it's probably been a few years since this has been off. There we go. Okay, set this aside. Alright, the throttle body's right here. Throttle position sensor's over here. And this is pretty dirty. I think I'm going to remove the whole throttle body, take it over to the workbench, clean it all up, and then reinstall the new throttle position sensor. So this connector here has got a safety on it. Not exactly sure how that comes off. Let's see. Alright, you press down the little tab in the middle and you slide it right out. And there we got it off. And then you should just be able to press down on this and wiggle the whole connector off. That's it. Pretty straightforward. So the only thing holding it on now should be these 4 bolts. Actually 2 studs and 2 bolts. We'll see how they come apart. It's 10 mil. I'm trying not to drop these. Okay, that should pop right off. Alright, we'll get this over to the workbench and get it cleaned up. So this is pretty carboned up. So we're just going to take some carbon choke cleaner, spray it down, clean it up a little bit. You know, you might as well when we're this far. Shouldn't take much to clean this up a bit. It's coming right off. So I'll spend a few minutes doing this and I'll bring you back when I'm done. Well, I think we got it as clean as it's going to come. That looks a lot better. So next we'll pop off these clips. Well, I think just a little pick is what we need for that. Something that'll just get right in here. And we do have new ones, so if these go flying and we lose them, not a big deal. Like that one did. That one's gone too. Alright, so there's a gear in here that we don't want to have drop, so we're going to take this off a little carefully. Alright, and the gasket stayed on here, so we'll remove that. There's a little bit of crud in there. Just blow that out. Alright. So, the only other thing we have to do is line up this with the new one. We'll see how they line up. We'll check that out and hang on a second. Set that down gently. Oh, and our contacts didn't come off. See, these are not in the old one, but they are in the new one. So double check that too, if you can't put this together with those in there. Alright, take that one and... oh, can you see it? There we go. Yep, so those are both removed. Okay. So yeah, what we want to do is hold this open for the throttle is open. And then have this slot, or line up with the slot on here. Get a good visual on this. It's darn close. I just have to move it just a little bit. Let's see if we can make that work. And I've already installed the gasket on this. Forgot to mention that. Alright, so that's in. Okay, let's not slap that back. We'll press down firmly on this and put the new clips on. This is pretty easy. So far anyways. Probably shouldn't say anything. Like we always do with things like this, we'll start in the middle and work our way out. Okay, the last one. Okay, give these all a quick little push again. Make sure they're in tight. Alright, so we're ready to reinstall. Right, we'll just slide this back over the studs. We did wipe that O-ring down quick. Didn't pay too much attention to it, but it is wiped down. It was still protruding slightly, so we'll call it good. Two bottom bolts started. Our nut started up top. Run them down with this. And we'll get a ratchet and tighten it up with a ratchet, just because I'm not going to torque it down with this drill. This wasn't super tight getting it off, so we're not going to tighten up too terribly much putting it back together. Just good and snug. Making sure all the Bolts are about evenly tightened. That should do. Next, we'll plug it back in. There, you heard it snap. And get this little lock clip back in. There. All right, just got to put our air intake back on, and I think we're almost done. All right, we'll just slide this back on. Underneath there. There we go. That's in. Whoa. Every time I do a video, I knock the camera at least once. That goes without saying. That hose clamp's good and snug. We've got the upper radiator hose that has that little Christmas tree fitting on it. Slides back up in there. And then we've got one more hose clamp over here. Good and snug again. So all that we have left to do is, oh, and this breather line here too. Forgot to push that back in. Okay, engine cover. Where did I put that? It's over here. It slides in. Heater hoses are in the way. There we go. There we are. Yeah, the heater hoses were just getting snagged on there. And that's all there is to that. So all that's left is to go in, clear the code, start it up, and we are assuming that this has some kind of relearn to it for the throttle position sensor, where it may idle a little funny for the first little while. But we'll give that a shot and see what happens. So I'm just going to hit the erase button on here. And one moment please, your erase was successful. So get this unplugged and start up, and that check engine light should go off. And it did. And we are idling a little high. Right around 1,000 RPM. That's kind of to be expected. After you drive it for a day or two, they're saying that that goes back to normal, from what I've read on online. Well, we'll take it for a quick spin around the block and see how it goes. So the main reason we fixed this right away was when you have a check engine light on, the remote start doesn't work. With the weather like we've been having, that remote start comes in handy. Heated seats come on, the frost comes on. Yeah, we got nobody behind us. Let's throw this in park for a second, see if our idle's dropped at all. We're about 700 or so in gear. Yeah, about the same. A little higher than normal, but not much. A little slippery out. It's 19 degrees out, and you can see the puddles on the road from all the melting snow from all the salt they put down. All that slush water ends up underneath your fenders and behind your bumpers and just rots these vehicles out in no time. It's all over your brake lines and fuel lines, and slippery enough that the anti-lock kicks on, and the traction control. Alright, I guess we're going to call this a win. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And consider subscribing to my channel. Always looking for more subscribers. And we do have other videos on this Avalanche on the channel as well. We've done quite a bit of work on it over the years. You might find a few of those interesting. Anyways, thanks for watching.